Hi traders, in today's video I want to go over the thinkorswim option chain. I'm going to go slowly, I'm going to go step by step, we're going to customize this. There's a lot of great information here. So let's get started. Now right now I've got a chart up of Apple. I've got chart selected up here. So in order to get to the option chain, we want to bring over or click on the trade tab, and then we'll just navigate down to option chain, which I have got unchecked here. Just click on this little greater than or right hand arrow, and that'll bring up all the option chains for Apple. And just a little side note, how many of you, if you're making a grocery list or sending an email, how many of you send that as AAPL rather than spelling out APPLE? Oh, I do that all the time. I know Netflix, there was a neat show on Netflix the other day, and I sent a text message to a friend of mine, and I said, hey, you need to watch this on NFLX. Anyway, let's get back to topic here. So we've got the options chain up of Apple, and shown here on the left side are all the expiration cycles for Apple. The ones in yellow are weeklies, the ones in white are monthly expiration. There's information on all of these cycles as well. What do those mean? Well, let's look at the September monthly expiration. 15 is simply the day of expiration, Sep is the month, 23 is the year, 25 is days until the last trading day, and that shows up if I just hover the mouse here. 100 means there's 100 shares per contract. Now, if you're trading something that's split recently, this number might say like 33/100. I'd stay away from those options because they're very irregular, and I would just stay away from them. Now let's take a look at these numbers over here on the right. But in order to do that, let's bring up NVIDIA. And the reason I want to bring up NVIDIA is because they're reporting earnings this week, and the implied volatility is very high. That first number here in parentheses, this is the average implied volatility per expiration cycle. So these options that expire Friday the 25th have an average implied volatility of just over 129%. Notice how that implied volatility drops as we go out further in time. What's the number to the right of that? The number in parentheses, this plus or minus number. This is the expected move in NVIDIA by option expiration. So traders are expecting a little over a $50 move in NVIDIA between now and Friday. Okay. If you enjoy my content, like the video, maybe subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Okay, there's a lot of information here, so let's just start out, and let's start up here, and let's just go left to right. Let's start with this filter. Now I currently have this filter off, but if we just left click it, it brings up some information for us. So one thing that we can do is we can show only the puts or only the calls. Let's say we just want to look at calls. If we click calls or check in here to the sidebar, all we're going to have is the calls. So let's just bring up front week here. And this is all we have. We've just got a few calls up here. What if I decide I don't like that? I want to see the puts as well. We'll just go ahead and click up here again, and we'll just reset or we'll uncheck side. So I'm just going to uncheck side. Now we have the calls on the left hand side and we have the puts on the right hand side. And by the way, every platform I've ever seen has had the calls on the left, the puts on the right. And while I'm right here and while I'm thinking about it, I want to show you the strikes here. Now in thinkorswim, if we click this little drop down, we can select between 4, 14, and all the strikes. Well, NVIDIA is going to have a lot of strikes, so let's just go ahead and click all. You know, that's a lot of strikes. We're going from $70. And another tip, you know, in Windows you can use the sidebar or the arrows to scroll. Well, when I'm scrolling through thinkorswim option chains, I like to use the roller on my mouse and be right in the middle, because if I happen to click out here in the bid or the ask, I don't want to put an order on the screen that I don't want to place. So let's just scroll down here, and I think these go up to over $900 in strike prices. Yeah, $920 is the most for this week. What if I don't want to look at all those strikes? Well, I can click up here and I can choose, say, 10 or 14. But what if that's not enough? Let's say I want to bring up enough strikes so I can show the expected move for NVIDIA. Well, I can guess here. I can actually highlight this and say I can type in the number 50 and hit enter. And that'll bring up 50 strikes. And that's good to do, but there's another thing we can do with the filter here. We can go down here and we can click on strike prices or strike price. And I've already had these numbers typed in here, but if I erase these numbers, it'll just say minimum and maximum. So let's get rid of these numbers. So let's just say with the $50 expected move, those are the only strikes I want to see. So if I type in 400 and I type in 500 and click outside the filter, that narrows up my strikes from 400 to 500. If I want to get rid of that, again, I can just hit reset. And again, if I don't want to see that many strikes, or if I want to see more strikes, you can kind of play with this number. I can type in 25 or whatever number. Sometimes the number of strikes can get overwhelming. So let's close this up and let's go back up to our filter here. Let's say we only want to look at monthly expiration and not weekly. If I go in here, I can just click regular for expiration types, and it gets rid of all of my weeklies. I want to bring my weeklies back. I can left click up here again and click reset, and they're back where I want them. So let's navigate over here now to spread, and you'll notice that single is the default. And let's just bring up a chain here. Let's bring up the sept monthlies. So if I click on the option chain, these are bid and ask prices for individual puts and calls. But let's say maybe I'm bullish on NVIDIA and I might want to sell a put spread. Well, if I click up here, it brings me down all different kinds of option strategies. So if I want to do a simple vertical, I can click here. Now my option strike prices are set up as verticals. And in this case, they're set up in $2.50 increments because for NVIDIA, that's the increment between strikes. So I'll go ahead and click vertical again, and we'll just do this real quick. Let's say we want to do the 425, 427 put vertical. We could click down here, and that'll bring us up in order, and it'll show the mid price between the spread. It's currently 85 bid, 115 ask, so it's a little bit spready. One other little trick here. Let's say we want to go wider than 2.5. Let's say we might want to sell the 425, 430 vertical. Well, if I click down here in the 425 or the 427.50, excuse me, and I click on 430, now I've got an order to sell the 425, 430 video. That's just something that you have to do. So anyway, let's get rid of that. That's just something I wanted to show you real quick. Get rid of this order. We don't want to place any orders in this underlying today. Let's go up to layout now. And this is my default layout. And let's just bring up the September expirations. There's a lot of information up here. Oh, I'm sorry, I want to get rid of this too. I want to get that back to single. So we're going to learn how to build my layout, which shows quite a bit of information up here. But let's start with the thinkorswim default, which is last X and net change. So that cleans this up quite a bit here. So last X is simply the last price the option traded. The net change is the change in price from Friday's close to today. We have the current bid, the current ask, and we have the identical information on the right-hand side on the put side. Now this is totally customizable except for the bid and the ask and the strike prices. That's always going to stay the same. So let's customize this. Let's actually build the same layout that I have. And we'll do this from scratch. So what we'll want to do is click on this, and we'll go ahead down here and we'll click on Customize. Customize brings us a lot of different things that we can put in our option chain. And we can select things a couple of ways. We can use the slider here. Let's say we want to bring up the volume traded today. Well, I could slide this down and I could select volume. Once I select volume, I can double click it, or I can just click add item, and that brings us over to our current set. Let's say we want to look at open interest. I'm just going to start typing in open, and it brings up open interest. So I double click that and I bring that over. So for now, let's just say that this is all we want to see. So I click on OK. We've got a lot more information down here in our option chain. We now have volume and we now have open interest, and we have the duplicate on the put side as well. We've got the volume and the open interest. So in order to get the layout like I have it, we're going to add a few more things. So I like to see the high and the low price of the day. So we'll bring in high, we'll add that, and we'll bring in low, and we'll add that. Whoops, I didn't get that added. There we go. So let's click OK. And there's something I want to show you here, because I don't know about you, but I really like reading left to right. And I like to see my low prices to the left and my high prices. To me, it's just more aesthetically pleasing. So how do I change the order here? Well, again, let's click up here in Layout, and we'll click Customize. And this is our current set. So I'm going to move low up one. So I just click on low with the left key. I move it up. And now I'm going to have low price, high price on the call side, and I'm going to have low price put side on the right side. That's the way I like it. Okay, now we're going to do some more customization. So we'll click this again, and we'll click Customize. Now, the products that I trade, I know have a lot of open interest, so I don't want to waste space seeing open interest. So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to remove the item. But as an option trader, there's a couple more things I like. I like delta and theta, a couple of the main Greeks. So I'm going to bring in delta, and I'm going to bring in theta. And another thing I'm going to bring in is probability out of the money, or probability OTM. So I just start typing probability, and I got 3 options here, so I'll bring this one in. Okay. Now let's click OK. Now we've got a lot of information up here. And one thing I like, and one thing I have my layout set, is I've got my probability OTM and my delta side by side. So I'm just going to bring probability OTM up here like that, and I'm going to move my theta as well. I'm going to move my theta so it comes up just to the right of my high price. And this, another thing, I think I've got volume at the top of my layout. Like I said, this is totally customizable, and you can make an infinite number of changes. So now I've got my my volume, my last price, oh, my net change. I don't have net change up. I don't like net change. I don't really use it. So I'll drop down again, customize, net change. I'm going to get rid of it. Click OK. Now I've got the setup pretty much the way I like it. And the same setup's going to be on the call side as the put side. Okay. So if I don't want to lose this, I need to save this. So again, we'll click up here, and this time I'm going to click Save As. Now, thinkorswim will generally default to the names of all the things you have in your header. But for our case here, we're just going to rename it. And how about we change the name? Erase all that. How about if we name this Day Trade Mechanic YouTube? And we'll click Save. Now we have a new layout. So we'll click down here. And these at the top are the default layouts from the platform. And we've got our customize, save as, and our delete. And we're going to delete one here in a minute. But this is our new DTM YouTube layout. This is my main layout here. So we'll click on that. We'll bring it up. And that's very similar to the one we just built. It should be actually identical. So let's get rid of one of these. You know, you're thinking, well, maybe there's too many here. I don't use all these. I know, for example, this Delta one, as I was preparing for this video, I was trying to think, what in the world is this Delta? I don't use it. So that would be a good one just to delete. So I'm going to open this up. And it's very similar to some of the other ones that I have, but I don't use it, so I'm going to get rid of it. Again, I'll click up to Layout. I'll scroll down to Delete, and I will just click on Delta. And you haven't seen it yet, but it'll be gone. Click Layout again, and my Delta's gone. So anyway, I think that's about all for this video. We've covered a lot. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I'd like to hear from you. Take a look at the videos on the screen. I hope you enjoy them. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.